So we're putting in some buildings here, or coloring in some buildings. I've used straight cadmium red medium in here with a hint of burnt sienna and a bit of white. I've used a little more burnt sienna here with cadmium red. To this green roof, I wanted a green roof against a red shed, complementary colors. This is burnt sienna again, and cad yellow pale, and a bit of ultramarine blue. Just trying to keep it warm and fresh looking. I didn't want to go cooler green with cobalt blue, so I chose ultramarine blue. Now I've just indicated a bit of shade underneath these eaves. That's alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue, and I think I have some cad red even in that little bit, and a bit of white. Now I'm going to put some sunshine, direct sunshine, on that. And that will certainly put some life on the walls, as you will see. I don't want that line too straight. Okay. Trying to twist my hand upside down and keep it steady at the same time, I find a bit difficult sometimes. But we got away with it that time anyway. Okay. I think I'll put the bottom of the wall about there. Shaky, shaky. That's a bit thick. I'm probably splitting hairs. But that's my neurosis. Okay. Try to give the wall a little bit of texture now. Some spots catching more light than others. Okay. Oops. Clean the extra off there. And there. Okay, maybe a little roof of a shed showing up just behind the crest of this hill. I think I may go, yeah, I'm gonna go burnt sienna and alizarin crimson. Maybe a hint of yellow ochre too. And a bit of white. Kind of rewarding, these little things, you know, they're just small strokes done quickly. But it's kind of fun after you've been messing around on so much of the painting. And suddenly you can make these small changes and things kind of jump to life then, you know? I do like that. Oops. And Mr. Pole. What shall we do with Mr. Pole? Yeah. I think we'll just go with, maybe straight raw umber. No, it doesn't stand out against this background enough. Maybe. Let's see if we throw a little bit of burnt sienna in with that raw umber. Yeah. We'll give it a shot. Carefully. Very carefully. Adding a hint of alizarin or ultramarine blue to it. Toning it down. Okay. Now for some straight, just some pure burnt sienna now. Giving it a bit of color variety. And I think I'd like to see, no, I was thinking about letting the sun just kiss the top of this pole. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. That pole might be a little too tidy. Anyway. It's a very wide opening in this shed. I think I'd like to close that opening a little bit. I think I'm not going to center the opening too much. I think I'm going to put something on the left hand side here that'll help to give the feeling of the door being partly closed. Maybe it's older wood, unpainted. See what happens. We just put some, close the opening about like that. I think that might do the job. Boy, I find it hard to be steady sometimes, especially when the hand's inverted like that. Okay, I think I'd like to have the bottom of that old piece of wood catching a little more light. All right. Now I'm gonna give a thought to, you know what, I'm not gonna worry about this interior yet. Often I just leave, when I have an opening like that in a painting, I'll leave it towards the end of the painting. Get most of the basic structure in place first. I'm gonna take now my, just a brush, and with ultramarine blue and burnt sienna and paint thinner, I'm going to clean up some of the spots where I've gotten a little too messy on my edges. Then I'll look at going into the field a little bit. Okay, let's put some yellows in now. I've started here already. This is yellow ochre, and to take it down a notch, I've just added a bit of raw umber to it, and of course a little bit of white in spots. I like to start tone down and then add intensity, build intensity. I'll lay it over top of the darker paint if need be. If I start too light, I make things difficult for myself. It's much easier to go brighter than it is to go darker, because once you got that white paint on there and you put darker over it, it just mixes together, doesn't look clean. With this style of painting, it's important to keep it fairly organized looking. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But here, I'm going to I think it's going to need a little bit of lightening up, because I am coming in front of the shed. The sun's going to be spilling on this shed and in the foreground here, coming down the hill a little bit. Now, I have to explain my shapes here with paint, not verbally. There, okay, I've added a little bit of cad yellow pale. To my yellow ochre, we're going to go in front of the shed now. I don't want to go blasting intense bright yellow just yet. We'll save that for a little bit lower here. And let me just get colors established. Notice I don't do a lot of talking while I'm laying the paint on. I also cannot chew gum and walk at the same time, so forgive my pregnant silent pauses. Oops. Careful. Okay. I'm going to let's see here. I'm going to add a little bit of burnt sienna and warm up that yellow. We're weaning the raw umber out of the mixture now. Now we want to have a little more intensity. Now, this next couple of strokes are Cad Yellow Pale and Burnt Sienna. And white. Now we can afford to have more movement in our strokes. Be a little, we're away from the buildings now, so it's safe to get a little more fluid, which I like. It's a little more fun than just having to be very careful with each stroke. And these are the strokes that give the painting some looseness. Because of course, as you can see on the buildings and around them, everything's very, very tidy and tight. I don't want the whole painting to end up looking like that. Okay, I just mixed a little more yellow ochre with some raw umber again because I'm finding this spot to be a little too dark for my liking. Alright, that's okay. Okay, so that's all I'm going to film for the moment. Next one, I will be finishing up this. Might show it while I'm painting, might not, might just show you the finished painting. I think this spot here I'm just going to get rid of. Is that even on camera? No, it's not. Anyway, have a good afternoon, guys. Have a good weekend. Whoops, that's a little close. Have a good weekend. See ya.